We're about to delve into the fascinating story of a music legend who embodies the transformative power of art and passion. Get ready to discover the mysteries behind the man, the myth, and the music of Bob Marley. If you're ready to unlock the secrets behind Bob Marley's music and mind, then don't waste time. Subscribe to our channel to follow this journey of discovery and inspiration. Click the sign up button and join us. More than 4 decades since his departure, Bob Marley remains reggae's most iconic icon. Born in the 60s on a small Caribbean island in Jamaica, his influence endures. Marley is remembered not only for his genius as a composer and musician, but also for his remarkable personality and the messages of peace that echo in his songs. However, behind this peaceful aura, Marley faced serious problems and conflicts with those close to him, even after achieving fame and success. Many of these experiences remain unknown to many. Today, we explore who Bob Marley truly was, the painful events that shaped his life, his origins, and the conditions in which this colossal composer and messenger of peace lived. Marley is recognized as one of the most renowned reggae artists in history, with more than 75 million albums sold. Furthermore, Bob Marley also served as a great symbol for the Rastafari religious movement and his homeland, Jamaica. In 2021, on the 40th anniversary of his departure, Rolling Stone magazine highlighted 5 interesting facts about the reggae legend. Let's explore some of them to better understand the journey of this great artist. One of these curiosities reveals that Bob Marley was the son of Norval Sinclair Marley, an older white man and captain in the English Army, and Cedella Booker. Their wedding was scheduled to take place in July 1944, but Norval abandoned the pregnant Cedella and returned to England. The story of Robert Nesta Marley, or simply Bobby Marley to those close to him, began on February 6, 1945, in the small country town where Bob was born. Bob Marley never had direct contact with his biological father. Some sources claim that he sent money to his mother every few years to help the family, while others suggest that he only saw his father a few times after his birth. Norval Marley was on a British government mission in Kingston when he met Bob's mother, Cedella, who was just 16 at the time, while he was in his early 60s. Cedella later married Todd Livingston, and Bob developed a strong friendship with Todd's son Bunny. This friendship marked the beginning of Bob's musical journey, where he and his half-brother built improvised guitars and tried to reproduce American songs. Bob Marley grew up in a small country town, where he performed rural work such as milking cattle and tending the vegetable garden. In his free time, he dedicated himself to learning about music, influenced by both older relatives and his mother's family. His childhood was also marked by being called Red Boy due to his fair skin, a legacy of his English ancestry. At age 5, Bob and his family moved to Trenchtown, a slum community on the outskirts of Kingston, the capital of Jamaica. His childhood and youth reflected the common struggles faced by many young black men in difficult living conditions with few opportunities available. Bob had 2 significant experiences in Trenchtown, at age 5 and at age 12. During his first visit, together with his family, he sought financial stability in the capital, where he later delved deeper into music, becoming a reggae star. During this phase, he had his last meeting with his biological father and ended up dropping out of school, returning to his hometown, St. Anne. At the end of the 50s, almost in his teens, Bob Marley returned to Trenchtown, beginning his independent journey. Despite the poverty, Trenchtown was culturally rich, serving as inspiration for many of the songs the artist wrote during his stay there. In the early 1960s, ska rhythm, a fusion of American soul and R&B, became popular in Jamaica, dominating the local music industry. This rhythm brought hope and an escape to young Jamaicans who lived in precarious conditions on the outskirts of Kingston. After leaving his homeland in search of a better life and settling in Trenchtown, Bob Marley found the true meaning of his life in music, especially under the guidance of Bunny Wailer, his stepfather's son. He began taking music lessons while still attending school, but his passion for music quickly took over his daily life, leading him to abandon conventional studies and dedicate himself entirely to music. According to reports about his life, his turn towards music came when he met Desmond Dekker, a soldier he worked with and who had already recorded a song. Marley also worked as a welder at the insistence of his mother, who feared that he would fall into bad company in Trenchtown, where the influence of the Rude Boys, a kind of local delinquent, was strong. At age 16, Bob recorded his first song, called Judnot. This recording served as a catalyst to unite the talents that would form the Wailers: Peter Tosh, Bunny Wailer, and Bob Marley himself. Although he was not a virtuoso instrumentalist, Marley improved over time. He has always been surrounded by excellent musicians, from his Wailers days to his solo career. Even almost 50 years after his death, he remains one of the most bankable stars in the music world. His presence on the charts of deceased artists still stands out thanks to his global fame and the power of his brand. Everything related to Bob Marley, from clothing to cannabis products bearing his image, has enormous commercial appeal. It is interesting to note that part of the legend surrounding Marley is based on fables and misunderstandings, something that is not uncommon in Jamaica, where local sayings state that it is difficult to find concrete facts, only versions. Some press outlets, such as the newspaper El País, mention the various versions and inventions of local record companies, which multiplied interpretations of Marley's best songs. It is common for several versions to be made from the same recording to generate more profit, as highlighted by the newspaper El País. Generally, what is presented to us about Bob Marley requires corrections and historical revisions. The reggae myth is also often interpreted as a metaphor for colonialism. A common misconception is the depiction of his biological father as a white British officer who impregnated a local woman. In fact, Norval Marley was also Jamaican and became a military engineer during World War II. After the incident, Marley went into exile first in Nassau, in the Bahamas, and then in London, where he remained for a year and a half. It was there that he composed and recorded two essential albums in his career: Exodus, 1977, which tells the story of his exile, and Kaya, 1978, about love and Rastafarian culture, exploring his relationship with cannabis. Exodus became Marley's highest-charting album of original songs in the United Kingdom, reaching number 4 in the charts. At the time, some critics suggested that Marley had somehow softened his political convictions to produce a more emotionally accessible and popular album. In addition to his songs, Bob Marley left a legacy that is kept alive by his heirs. Ziggy, Stephen, Damian, and Julian Marley often performed their father's hits in their own shows. In 1977, Marley injured the big toe on his right foot during a football match in London, resulting in the loss of his toenail. Years later, it was discovered that this untreated wound was actually malignant melanoma under the nail, a type of skin cancer. Despite the doctor's recommendation to amputate the finger, Marley refused due to his Rastafarian beliefs. As a result, the disease spread to other parts of the body, including the brain, lungs, and stomach. At the age of 36, on May 11, 1981, Bob Marley passed away in the city of Miami, in the state of Florida, United States. He was buried in his hometown in Jamaica, and there are reports that his body was placed in a mausoleum alongside a Gibson Les Paul guitar and a Bible. However, the exact location of his grave is still a secret.